Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive.
Mhm.
Today, we're going to be exploring chapters 7 and 8 from The Professional Believer's Guide by Dr. Stephanie Fletcher-Lartey.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, these chapters are all about
Developing that excellent spirit.
exactly and how we can,
Use it to empower others in the workplace.
yeah, and we'll also be looking at Colossians chapter 1, verses 9 through 11, kind of tying that in as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting how Dr. Fletcher-Lartey uses the story of Daniel.
In Babylon.
Yeah, Daniel in Babylon to illustrate this concept.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was a prisoner of war.
Right.
Yet he rose to a position of authority
Because,
by staying true to his faith and excelling in his work.
yeah, what stands out to you about that?
Well, I think it really challenges the idea
Yeah,
that our circumstances just dictate our potential.
totally.
Even in a situation as, as captivity,
Yeah.
Daniel chose excellence.
Yeah, so it's not just about being good at your job.
Right? It's more than that.
Like, there's more to it, right? Absolutely.
What is that?
Well, it's about letting your faith fuel your work,
Okay.
inspiring those around you,
Mm-hmm.
and, ultimately glorifying God through your actions.
Yeah, it's about striving for that excellence in everything you do.
Everything you do, exactly.
So in Chapter 7, Dr. Fletcher-Lartey talks about those seemingly insignificant choices.
The small things.
Yeah, that actually reflect this excellent spirit.
Right.
And she uses the example of Daniel and his friends maintaining their dietary restrictions, even in captivity.
Even as captives, yeah.
It would have been so easy to just abandon those, right?
Yeah, just blend in.
But they didn't.
They held on to their faith.
Why do you think that was so significant?
Well, it was like a public declaration of their faith.
Oh,
A
yeah.
visible commitment to their beliefs, even when they were in a foreign land.
Okay.
And that commitment, which,
Yeah.
could have been dismissed, overlooked,
Right.
actually set them apart.
Okay.
Their dedication to their faith was
Yay.
reflected in their physical health. Interesting.
And their vitality. And it caught the attention of those in authority.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't just about the food.
Oh,
It was about the principle behind it.
the principle. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about fitting in.
Right.
It was about standing out,
Yeah.
but for the right reasons.
Yeah. For the right reasons.
And their excellent spirit, even in something as basic as their diet, had these ripple effects
It did.
that led to their success.
Absolutely. And that's something we can all consider
Yeah.
in our own lives. What are those small choices that we're making that reflect our values
Yeah.
and our commitment to excellence, regardless of our work environment?
That's a great question for our listeners to think about.
Yeah.
Now, shifting gears to Chapter 8, Dr. Fletcher-Lartey connects this excellent spirit to empowering others.
Yeah. Empowering others. That's a good one.
And this reminds me of Colossians 1, verses 9 through 11,
Yeah.
where it talks about being filled with knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
producing good fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and strengthening others.
Yeah. Strengthening others is huge.
So how do those verses connect with empowerment in the workplace?
Well, Colossians emphasizes that growth in knowledge
Okay.
should lead to positive action,
Okay.
to bearing good fruit. And that includes empowering others.
So it's not just about personal gain.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about using what we know to help others grow.
Right, help others flourish.
So in Chapter 8, Dr. Fletcher-Lartey shares a personal story about helping a colleague prepare for a job interview.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And this colleague was actually being considered for a position that she herself had applied for.
That's true.
What message do you think she was trying to convey through that anecdote?
Well, I think it speaks to the selflessness.
Right.
It's inherent in an excellent spirit.
Okay.
It's about putting the needs of others ahead of your own,
Right.
which might seem counterintuitive.
Especially in a competitive work environment.
Right, exactly. But a life of service, as she argues, it's not just morally right,
Okay.
but it's also more impactful
Wow.
and ultimately more rewarding than one driven solely by personal ambition.
That's a refreshing perspective.
It is.
And she gives some very specific, actionable advice in this chapter,
Yeah.
especially that powerful prayer at the end.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you think that incorporating prayer into our approach to work can really make a difference in empowering others?
Absolutely. Prayer isn't just about asking for things.
No.
It's about aligning our hearts with God's will
Okay.
and inviting his power to work through us.
So in the workplace,
Yeah.
it can help us identify our strengths,
Mm-hmm.
discern how to use them to help others,
Right.
and navigate those challenges that inevitably come with empowering others.
It's not always easy.
No, it's not. And Dr. Fletcher-Lartey's point about facing resistance,
Yeah.
when you're trying to help someone grow, that really resonated with me.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered that
Oh, absolutely.
in your own experience?
Not everyone is open to being empowered.
Yeah.
You're going to encounter pushback,
Yeah.
even when you have the best intentions.
Even when you're really trying.
It can be frustrating.
Yeah, it can.
But, Dr. Fletcher-Lartey, she encourages us to approach those situations with understanding and grace.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, for one, just remembering that everyone's on their own journey,
Okay.
and we can't force people to grow.
At a pace they're not ready for.
Exactly, at a pace they're not ready for.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you tried to help someone and they just weren't receptive?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How did you navigate that?
Well, I think it's recognizing that empowering others isn't about us.
Oh.
It's about them.
Okay.
It's about meeting them where they are
Yeah.
and understanding their perspective.
So sometimes the best way to empower someone is just to create a safe space for them.
To explore their own potential
Yeah.
at their own pace.
At their own pace. Yeah. Dr. Fletcher-Lartey also talks about the importance of discerning the root cause of the resistance.
Yeah. You got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, what is it? Is it fear? Is it pride?
Lack of trust.
Yeah, lack of trust.
Yeah.
So how can we figure that out without, making the person feel like they're being analyzed?
Well, I think it's a lot of observation
Okay.
and listening.
Okay.
It's paying attention to their words,
Yeah.
their body language.
Okay.
Are they defensive? Are they hesitant?
Okay.
Do they seem threatened by your offer of help?
Okay.
Once you have a sense of what might be driving that resistance,
Yeah.
you can tailor your approach accordingly.
I see. I see. One of the things I found really helpful in Chapter 8 was her advice on giving feedback constructively.
Oh, yeah. Feedback's huge.
It's so crucial
Yes.
to helping others grow,
Yeah.
but it's so easy to do it in a way that shuts people down
Oh, yeah.
instead of opening them up.
You can do more harm than good
Right, exactly.
if it's not done well.
So how do we do that well?
Well, she's right. It's not about criticizing or
Yeah.
pointing out flaws.
Okay.
It's about helping someone see their own potential
Yeah.
and giving them the tools to reach it.
So what does that look like practically?
Well, she emphasizes focusing on specific behaviors,
Okay.
not personality traits.
Okay, specific behaviors, not personality traits.
And framing the feedback in terms of I statements.
Oh, I statements. Okay.
Which helps take the focus off blame
Okay.
and, creates a more collaborative dialogue.
I see. So it's less accusatory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more about working together.
Do you have an example of how we can reframe criticism into constructive feedback?
Sure. So instead of saying you're always late,
Okay.
which is a judgment on their character,
Right.
you could say, I noticed that you've been late to the last few meetings.
Okay.
Is there anything going on that's preventing you from being on time?
Okay.
That opens the door for a conversation
Right.
and shows that you're genuinely concerned
Yeah.
about their well-being and their success.
It shifts the focus from blame to understanding
Exactly.
and acknowledging their challenges while still holding them accountable.
Yep.
And, sometimes even with our best efforts, people might still resist our attempts to empower them.
It happens.
So what do we do then?
I think that's when we have to respect their boundaries
Oh,
and let go of the outcome.
let go of the outcome.
We can offer guidance and support,
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately it's their choice,
Yeah.
whether or not they want to grow.
So we have to trust that God is working in their lives.
Even if we don't see the results that we're hoping for,
That can be tough,
it can be really tough.
especially when we care about the person and we want to see them succeed.
Right.
It's a good reminder that we can't control other people.
We can only control our own actions and reactions.
That's it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about how an excellent spirit can empower those around us. But in Chapter 9, Dr. Fletcher-Lartey kind of goes into another dimension of this, facing adversity.
Yeah, adversity, that's a big one.
What are your thoughts on that connection?
Well, I think it's inevitable, that
Yeah.
we're going to face challenges and setbacks in our personal and professional lives, and it's how we respond
Yeah.
to those challenges that truly defines our character.
So she uses the story of Ezra and the rebuilding of the temple to kind of illustrate this.
Oh, that's a good one.
What parallels do you see between that story and the challenges we face in the modern workplace?
Well, the Israelites, they faced constant opposition
Right.
and setbacks in their efforts to rebuild the temple,
Yeah.
but they persevered.
They kept going.
They didn't let those obstacles deter them from their ultimate goal.
So in the same way.
We might encounter resistance or roadblocks in our careers, But it's important to remember that those challenges don't define
Yeah,
us.
it's our commitment to excellence
Right.
and our faith.
That will see us through.
One of the things that struck me was her advice to expect adversity.
Expect it.
It sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It might seem that way at first, but I think if we go through life expecting everything to be smooth sailing, we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment. So if we can accept that challenges are just a part of life,
Yeah,
we can face them with greater resilience.
I like that.
It's about shifting our perspective, from why me to what can I learn from this?
Oh, I like that a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So she also emphasizes the importance of evaluating the situation
Yeah.
when adversity strikes. What does that actually look like?
Well, it's about taking a step back
Okay.
from the initial emotional reaction
Right.
and really trying to assess the situation objectively.
So looking at it from a different perspective.
Some perspective, yeah.
Okay.
What are the facts?
Mhm.
What are the potential solutions?
Okay.
Who can I turn to for guidance and support?
So it's about making informed decisions.
Right.
Rather than just reacting impulsively.
Yeah, don't just react.
Right.
Take a moment.
It's so easy to just get caught up in the emotion of the moment and make decisions that we later regret.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So taking that time
Yeah.
to evaluate the situation really allows us to respond.
With clarity and wisdom.
And it's important to remember that we don't have to go through this alone.
No, you don't have to do it alone.
She reminds us to seek counsel from trusted mentors or friends or family members.
Your support system.
Yeah. And most importantly, to lean on God
Yes.
for guidance and strength.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that we're not meant to carry our burdens alone.
Oh.
There's strength in community
Yes.
and in seeking support for those who care about us and want to see us succeed.
So true.
So once we've kind of evaluated the situation,
Yeah.
it's time to endure.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
Enduring adversity with an excellent spirit doesn't mean denying the difficulty
Right.
or pretending that everything is fine.
Exactly.
It's about choosing to persevere,
Yeah.
to trust God's plan, and to find meaning and purpose even in the midst of pain.
That's powerful.
And she reminds us that adversity can actually be a catalyst for growth.
Oh.
It can refine our character
It can deepen our faith.
and equip us to help others who are going through similar challenges.
It's all part of the journey.
And she quotes Romans 5:3-5,
Oh, yeah. Good one.
which talks about how trials develop endurance and strength of character and confident hope.
Yeah. And those words are a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times,
Yeah.
there's hope.
There's always hope.
God can use even the most difficult experiences for our good.
And for his glory.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the key takeaway is that cultivating an excellent spirit is a journey, not a destination.
It's a process.
It's about continually striving to align our actions with our faith,
Mm-hmm.
to empower others to face adversity with grace and courage, and to trust in God's plan for our lives.
To trust in his plan.
And as we do that,
Yeah.
we'll not only experience greater fulfillment in our careers, but we'll also make a lasting impact,
On the world around us.
reflecting God's love and grace in everything we do.
That's beautiful.
It's not just about achieving success or climbing the corporate ladder.
Right. It's bigger than that.
It's about living a life of purpose and integrity and service,
And inspiring others.
and inspiring others to do the same.
Yeah.
So as you go back into your week, I want to encourage you to reflect on what we've discussed.
Yeah.
What resonated with you? What are some practical steps you can take to cultivate an excellent spirit in your own life?
What can you do today?
Remember, even small acts of faith and kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a more positive and productive environment for yourself and those around you.
It starts with us.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Professional Believer's Guide. We hope you've been inspired and challenged to embrace the power of an excellent spirit in your own life.
And until next time, may you find joy and fulfillment in serving others and glorifying God in all that you do.
See you next time.